Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. This is another ladder game, and this time we have Mephi and we have Aizen in an all UEF battle. The map ZD Rasty Light, so there's a map ZD Rasty. This is the light version, that means it's a bit lighter on mass extractors, or mass points, I suppose. Hopefully there'll be mass extractors on all those points as much as possible. So let's see what happens here. Aizen thinking that perhaps the rating disparity is too great for them to get matched, or maybe he thought there was a better match. Another person searching closer to his rating, but here we are. So Aizen goes for a couple of power generators after his factory, and mexes and hydro, with the first engineer, second engineer making its way towards the reclaim. Mephi come with a different build order. No power generators. He's walked with his AC straight to the hydrocarbon. And the first engineer's there, and then he made a lab. The lab really hung around next to his AC for a long time, which isn't too great. And now he's getting some reclaim, although he's missing most of the reclaim there. Actually, so is Aizen. Oh, but he's not missing this. Well, he missed this one, unfortunately. You hit the tree, dude. Happens to everyone. So he's quickly expanding this way. Another engineer goes over here, grabs some rocks, and then attack move. We have a tank, the lab for Mephi, heading down here. It's a completely normal location to send the lab. So normal that people don't send an engineer there anymore. Let's see, Aizen. Yeah, Aizen just taking the reclaim. This is one thing about this map I'm not a huge fan of, is these rocks here. Yes, actually you can see them all now. Whoa. Okay, that doesn't look too good. Yeah, it really encourages clicking on them individually because they're all surrounded by crappy... There's tiny trees and small rocks that aren't as useful. So not a big fan of that aspect of this map. But overall the map is sort of interesting, a bit unique, because you are separated from your main expansion by water. And there's just two tiny land bridges here, which can make it kind of nice when you have, if you have hover factions, well, if you have, say, Aeon, you can actually make use of the water, which is nice. And if you have, say, Yenzines with Seraphim, or if you have Riptides as UEF, but you know, Riptides aren't too good. They do have some use here, thanks to the water. So yeah, the slab has nothing to kill. Aizen is far too busy taking reclaim with this engineer, and now he's walking across. He's quite a bit slower than Mephi, but Mephi also has not sent he hasn't sent an engineer across either. The bomber does not drop on the first pass. Maybe he got the order a little late. Aizen is trying to dodge around. And will he dodge? Perfect dodge. Not even a scratch. And the bomber is dead. And leaves some reclaim up there for Aizen to grab when he drops the plateaus. We have a couple of plateaus here. 4 plateaus really. A plateau within a plateau. Hydro, 3 mexes total. Kind of important to get, but you don't want to go for too early and risk losing air, losing transport. You can also try and steal your opponent's plateau, although it's extremely difficult to hold on to it. But it is very annoying if you do take it. Aizen with a huge score lead right now, and a massive, excuse the pun, mass lead. Holy crap, look at the reclaim. All that manual reclaim that Aizen has done has made a big difference. And perhaps also Isen going a bit later in air than Mephi. Well, maybe that allowed him to make a few more engineers at the start to get more reclaim, get faster expansion. He's faster than this. Ooh, getting this Hydra after a radar. Sending a little raid over. We have some raiding happening on the left side. This engineer skates by. Gets to the mexes safely somehow. But these tanks are quite annoying. And Mephi is really lacking everything. He lacks power to make air. He lacks mass. He has less generated mass. Ooh, look at Aizen. He's got some mass to burn. He has T2 mechs already. Now maybe I should say Aizen is a returning player. He returned recently. And he is one of the legends of FAF. Was an extremely good player a few years ago before he quit. How many years ago did he quit? I don't know. It's a long time now, so it is very interesting to see people come back and play again. Like for example, when Crazy Cherry comes back every once in a while, comes back, starts to crush everyone, and then leaves again. So it's fun. It's fun to watch. And Aizen, despite being under 1900 rated now, he has played quite a few games since he's come back. He's been very active. Under 1900 now versus Mephi, one of the best 1v1 players. He's doing really well so far. Nice raid at the back here. Tanks getting in behind. There are a lot of mexes on the outside of the map here, and that makes them difficult to defend. You can't expect to always hold every mex in your half. It's just not feasible. So what you have to do is minimize the damage and maximize your damage against your opponent's raidable mexes. It's not a scenario where you sit and hold on to what you have. You have to trade blows with your T1 tanks and then make your transition to T2 as effectively as you can. And that's a nice cleanup by Mephi, but he has not got this map control. Also, Aizen has dropped his plateau. He's got 2 of the mexes and the Hydra. He's going to have the 3rd mex very soon. Mephi is behind on that. His transport is halfway done now, and you gotta imagine it's because of his lack of power earlier on, where he had to pause air. The transport is the most expensive T1 air unit, except for a Jester, I guess. You can see a lot of the expense is in the power department. Drains a lot more. Look at this. Nice raiding from Aizen, and good fights in the middle. I think he's getting decent trades here. There is a lot of mass building up, so if Mephi can get some engineers here, which he is already, this is a very nice mass field for Mephi to be able to take. There is mass everywhere on this map, so a lot of engineers are needed. Some engineer micros needed. And again, this is what I was talking about with the trading blows. Mephi is doing. Oh my god. The original lab is getting reclaimed. Oh, it's the Snoop just barely finishes the engineer. But the mass extractor is not going to get killed, that's for sure. Unless these tanks come in and do it. More fighting in the middle. And we have Aizen's air, and he definitely looks to have more air as well right now. Let's take a look at what Aizen sees. Ooh, he has T2 land as well. We have 2 T2 mexes. We have multiple factories turning into T2 support factories. Constant pressure. He always has units in and around doing damage. Oh, you want to re-expand? Well, I have a single striker here to deny that mex and kill your engineer. And all the time Mephi is trying to just take the mexes back, he can't take this mass either. Can't take all of this mass. Look at how much there is here. It's a lot of rocks. And now Mephi moves into the expansion with 12 strikers. Not the biggest air force, but might be enough. That's been forgotten, unfortunately. I have a few pillars out now. No mongoose, it seems. Sadly. And what is the ACU doing? Well, he's just relaxing. Oh, he's getting some nice kills here. Very little pressure on the expansion here of Aizen. He is going to lose his first pillar though to some T1 units. Definitely a waste there, but not a huge one. Mephi's ACU seems to be unable to catch these tanks that are raiding, and that's a problem. What is this? Hello. Oh, let's cancel that. Yeah. Just in time. They're about to drop. And nope. Drop. You're under attack. You're being chased. Oh god. Well, he loses the transport, but that's okay. That was worth it just to watch that maneuver happen. The ACU was thinking, oh yes, beautiful, 2 pillars are gonna drop right into my overcharging arms. And then they just flew away again. Very sad. And now the pillars are here to support the strikers and get some nice trades here. Now he's gonna leave a lot of mass, but that's not the entire equation here. It's also killing a lot of tanks here with good trades, and Mephi has to retreat his tanks, retreat his ACU. Mephi's gonna lose, well, what will he lose here? He's certainly losing time, which is one thing maybe not often considered when people are defending. And they're forced to defend. You do lose time, and time is very precious in this game. Now on the other side, this looks like quite a decent attack. Oh, Mephi looks like he has a decent attack, but then he's just getting raided here on the left by a couple of tanks and a couple of Lobos. And suddenly it looks less pleasant. Oh, the ACU has finally arrived just in time to watch his hydrocarbon die. Gets in an overcharge on the pillar. Look at this, 7 kills. The other one probably had very similar. And unfortunately this pillar is going to die as well. Where's the OC though? Ooh, that's a big mass ult. But he will have some mass to help him out. And just as he thinks, okay, we've stopped the attack on our expansion. Let's get the reclaim, juicy reclaim, a couple of pillars to reclaim there as well as all the strikers. Oh, never mind. There's another army sliding past my defenses. Now, just imagine the beauty of a wall here. Just a wall here maybe. Would be such a huge help. And all these units on the left, are they capable of doing damage? Doesn't look like it. Definitely should be sending some along here. Oh, look at this. Isen slides past on the left. ACU goes to chase them. And then, oh, what's that? Pillars now coming through through this choke point. And there's a T2 factory here, which could get killed as well as the other T1 factories. And there's no pillars here. There's so many pillars for Aizen. 6 pillars versus 0 for Mephi, and his ACU is over here trying to kill these few strikers that ran to the corner. Now if he had the ACU here and hadn't been dragged towards the corner, I think the pillars might not have wanted to engage there. He could have overcharged some. Even without the gun, I think Aizen might have been reluctant to move in. And this is just constant pressure. And Mephi can't deal with it. Now he has brought some pillars across from the left side. And he's trying to bring more across. You can see the difficulty when this expansion gets under pressure. You have to go all the way up here through a tiny choke point and back down into your expansion to try and defend yourself. And now, yes, every factory here has been killed, including the T2 factory with a pillar in it, so it's just bonus damage there. And Aizen looking good. Is he back, ladies and gentlemen? Actually, you know, I'll have to check the ladder league, the leaderboards. What's it called? Galactic Resistance. There's a link in the description for you to check out the standings there. I think in the top division, I think Isen is in the second division. In the top division, I believe it's Thomas and Robogear are at the top. I don't know who exactly is top right now, but those two are in the lead last time I checked. Aizen is probably up there in the second division. I'd have to guess he is, because he has been very active. And he has now just pushed Mephi into the water. Zaysu cannot fight this at all. Look at this army. 14 pillars, a few parashields, flak as well. Perfect mix. Maybe a little lackey on Lobos, but does he really need them? Doesn't really need anything now that everything's dead, but yeah, it's looking good. He should clean out the sides, clean up the mess. There's some hikers in the mountains lurking, just, you know, cutting down some trees, waiting for the time to take the expansion back. Have some transports moving around. Seen them from both players being moved around. Maybe they're aiming to drop on reclaim, I would guess, in most cases. There is a large army. Maybe all of Mephi's army is right here. We have 33 pillars total. Yeah, all of his army is right here. But Aizen is regrouping with the units that have killed the expansion and these reinforcements here. And it's a big army. It's at least as big, probably bigger. We also have 7 parashields in there. And I don't think he can take on... I don't think Mephi can take on this army right now. That's a nice T2 radar. It would be a shame if something happened to it. Aizen now drops those engineers in the expansion and gives a little misclick order here, I think. Ah, yeah. Now he's fixed it. Mephi also did he just drop those? I think he did. He's now dropping some pillars across to take out these engineers that are stealing his valuable reclaim. In the middle, there's a battle going on in the tiniest choke point on the map. And so... can see what's happening. Both players are now attack moving their artillery and retreating their tanks. So they just allow the artillery to do the damage if it can, although the shields are protecting Aizen's force pretty well, and now Aizen decides to move in with the pillars, take the choke point, push Mephi back. And now actually he breaks off and he's going to well, yes, he just realized his engineers are getting roasted by these 2 pillars, and Mephi's trying to retake the expansion as fast as possible, as quickly as possible. Breaks off a few units and he's going to go down and try and clean up the mess again. Oh, sad. There goes the T2 radar, and Aizen takes control of this area, pushes Mephi back, and Mephi actually has gone to T3 land already. So Mephi, feeling that he is behind, and he's definitely right that he was behind. This hill is annoying, isn't it? His Percy is not happy about this hill. But yeah, feeling that he's behind, he needs a way to get an advantage, so he goes to T3 and he will attempt to use the range of the Percys as much as he can. They will one-shot any pillar, so Percy is really an excellent unit versus a pillar. One-shots them with very little overkill. And now the ACU comes out of the water, and it has equipped itself with T2 and the gun. That's a nice pair of upgrades to get. Oh no. Well, let's see. Okay, Isen not too far behind. He's already got to T3 land as well. He didn't allow himself to be to fall behind in tech too much. Mephi with some undefended mexes here. These could be TML'd quite easily. And Aizen is running past Mephi's army in the middle. Decides, why don't I just... Oh, I'm just retreating. Don't mind me. I'm just retreating. No, never mind. I'm running around. I'm going left. And now Mephi's just left chasing him. And if you know anything about pillar speed, it's that all pillars move at the same speed, and so he's not going to catch them except for these ones that are getting stuck on the terrain. That's sad. And Percy's definitely are not going to catch pillars, and so Aizen is committing his entire army into the base of, well, no, let's not say his entire army. Let's say half his army. By the looks of it, over 50 pillars, 25 in here left. There were a few more than that, to be honest. But he's committing half his army now into the base, and he is killing these capped mass extractors. And there they go. But surely this army will be cleaned up. We now have 3 Percys here, some pillars. We have a 4th Percy here. Surely all these will be cleaned up, and this may leave quite a bit of mass. Mephi is doing a reasonably good job taking back this expansion, although he is... Here we go, more raids again. Aizen dropping engineers to this expansion. Aizen is in full tryhard mode. Dropping to small expansions like that on the other side of the map. You know he's feeling it right now. This army on the left, which has successfully raided 2 capped mass extractors, looks like it's getting murdered with no remorse. This transport lands. Oof. The engineers barely survive. And that's the end of that. And the Percys have taken almost no damage, killing that entire army. You see these 4 Percys? Almost 0 damage to them. Pretty amazing. That is a big mass donation here on the left side for Mephi. So Mephi's going to be feeling... He's praying now. He's thinking, you know, I just got to wish, I just got to hope and pray for a little bit more of this. A little bit more of this juicy pillar reclaim, and maybe I can get back into this game. His ACU now is forced. He felt like he had to move to the left here because there was a decent force building up, and he only had a couple of Percys in the front of his base. So he moved to the left here to try and defend. Now he's going to have to move back to the right. I don't know if he should be moving forward here. And he retreats. He obviously can't fight with just 2 Percys. And he's rerouting the units from the left back across to the middle. These Percys doing quite well. Look at this, 10, 11 kills now. And he is here with some engineers grabbing the mass, but the right side looks very, very bad. He can't hold on to these core mexes in his expansion. T2PDs might be what the doctor ordered. Aizen now over 100 mass per tick versus under 50. Now the total mass is Well, Isen has about 10% more total mass. And if we look at the army size, I think that's where the disparity probably really is. Let's see, we got only 8 Perseus in fact, and 43 pillars. Yeah, the difference is actually in the pillars. Mephi has lost basically all of his pillars from the T2 stage. I think Aizen is probably still making pillars. He is, yes. No wonder he has so many. He's also still making some strikers, unfortunately. But, you know, these things happen. I think there's probably some value in pillars at this stage, but not much. But there's definitely no value in strikers. The Perseus will prioritize T3 and T2 units over the strikers, so they're not going to waste shots on them. Except in the very rare case. Mephi being pushed back deep. He's right on the frontier of his base now with these pillars, with these Perseus. He's got some power shields to help defend them. It's a nice group of Perseus. He needs to keep the power shields out front to defend them. There's not enough Perseus here for Aizen. He's being very aggressive and pushing all the way into the base, but he can't win the fight surely. He does have a lot of pillars though, that has to be said. Mephi now, he's just constantly running back and forth with his ACU. He can't stay in one place because Aizen puts pressure on either side, and now Aizen is just about to run out of Perseus in this army, but he's just sprinting in with the pillars and targeting the T2 power and the engineers. Still, Mephi has all these Perseus alive and they're mauling the army, but the army's just decided we're going down, but we're taking down the power with us. And here comes a second T2 power generator. And the power generator, this is a slight bit of defensive work there, killing a couple of units. And that does hurt. And now there's only Perseus to kill these strikers, and that's a slow task. It's going to be some serious overkill, and actually the Perseus are now out of range, so there's nothing to kill these units now. There's literally no units shooting at this anymore. And Mephi trying to build PDs. He's going to lose another P-gen. Because his Perseus have moved out of range. He's now down to... He's lost 3 T2 P-gens. Oh no. He's losing another one. He's trying to get the power shield into range, but the power shield, of course, is unpowered because of the other 3 dead power generators. 4 dead P-gens from that attack. Now even the T3 mechs is under. That's just not allowed. You can't do this. You can't. Okay, the Perseus finally reappeared. And it looks like they will save the T3 mechs. And Titans. A Titan comes out as well. Oh, this Perseus hurts. One Perseus very quickly is going to kill the mechs over here. And Aizen completely dominates air in the meantime. And guess what? Mephi's not going to have any air production for a long time now. Let's take a look at the hellscape of his economy. Ouch. You know, he was thinking, oh, yes, another mass donation like I got here over here on the left side. And then he lost 4 T2 pigeons to T1 and T2 units. And that reclaim really is not so useful anymore. And now there's just random Janus bombing him. I don't think he's going to be happy about that. It is a nice amount of reclaim for him, if he can ever grab it, if he can ever use it. He does have a P-gen up, and he will have a second one up very soon as well. But this looks tricky. This looks very difficult now. I mean, it looked very bad, but that could have been a mass donation, but instead it turned into a very effective attack from Isen. Maybe not the safest play from him to commit there, but he did exploit the weakness of the Percy's. Uh-oh. This is scary. Inti's patrolling over Flak, the stuff of nightmares. Pilots, look away now. Oh god, he's still still flying over them. Mephi was very kind to move away from them there for a moment, but now he's back. Ouch. Well, that could have gone worse, honestly. More pressure in the expansion. Mephi is simply not allowed to build these mexes and keep them built for any length of time. But he is putting up an admirable defense. Got his T3 factory up very quickly. After he got to T3, got these PDs up. Has enough Percies to defend. But this attack that killed all his power... Again, time is what it cost him more than anything. It cost him a lot of time, and he did not have that time in the first place. And still not that far behind on total mass. Only the gap hasn't really even widened very much, because Mephi is now at 60,000 reclaim versus 36. But it doesn't matter because Aizen still maintains the pressure, maintains total map control, and now actually maybe... No. Mephi is still going to be able to hold on to this expansion. I really feel like some T2PD would be amazing. If you're defending as UEF against UEF, really against most any faction, I think T2PD is a pretty good choice. Just a nice bit of support, and you know, imagine if he had one T2PD here, he may not have lost all of those power generators. Hindsight is 2020 though. The poor Percy's on the end of their own technology, on the receiving end of the napalm. And Aizen, look at this. The ferry route, he's ferrying some engineers. He's ferrying everything really. He's ferrying units. So it looks like he has a ferry route set up here, and then he has the... How is it working? He has the units sent to the ferry point, and then they go get picked up. So you can see he's just automatically picking up Percivals, Pillars, Percies, Parashields. And you don't often see people do that, but Aizen making use of the beautiful Subcom UI, using it to its fullest, and getting some very quick reinforcements. And now basically his entire army is in the one place thanks to this. He has 17 Percies here out of a total of 21. The ones that haven't got across here are the ones from this expansion, and ones that are still in the base that will likely be picked up now very soon. And here comes... Oh, Mephi is making the shield now. And Aizen has just taken out the HQ. He just walked in, immediately focus fired the HQ. There will be no more Percies. And here comes Mephi with his ACU, brand new shield on this commander, 19,000 extra HP. The overcharges are coming in. He has a lot of storage so that he can one-shot these Percies. But he's already dropped his shield, and now is under attack. But almost all the Percies have disappeared already. There goes the last one. The rest are Pillars, a lot of Strikers somehow. But Mephi is about to lose all of his units, and the reinforcements are here Right on time. That's a lot of Percy's coming in to support the T1 and the T2. And Mephi is not going to survive this. Not at all. He has nothing left, finally. The Janus just suicide bombed themselves over 4 flak for no reason. There's no pilots. No pilots were harmed in the killing of these Janus. Nice start to end win, says Mephi. Well played, GG. Very gracious in defeat. And Isen wins. Very nice game from Isen there. And a nice attempt at a defense from Mephi. He did try his best to defend, soak up the attacks, take the reclaim. But Aizen, although he did give him some reclaim, he never let him really, never allowed him the time to consolidate, take the reclaim, and build off of it. Always kept the pressure, always kept the map control, and did some nice things there. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Check out the ladder league, link in the description, and check out other links in my description as well. And thanks for watching. Is Aizen back? Aizen 2K soon? PogChamp? Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time, guys.